Delaware Valley's leading news program with meteorologist Adam Joseph, Christy Iletto, Sarah Bloomquist, and Brian Taff.
Now at 4, a major winter storm is brewing, and it frankly couldn't come at a worse time. Millions of Americans are in the crosshairs of this complex system just as they try to make their way to their Christmas destinations. It is Wednesday afternoon. I'm Brian Taff.
And I'm Jillian Mealy in for Sarah Bloomquist. And the big story on Action News is that storm that is gaining strength right now over the northern plains and Midwest. It will bring blizzard conditions to some, which is expected to have a ripple effect on travel across the country.
Now, while we will not see any snow here at home, we will get a taste of the storm's power beginning tomorrow, which is prompting an AccuWeather alert already today. Meteorologist Adam Joseph now standing by live in the Weather Center with more on what we can expect heading into this holiday weekend, Adam.
Yeah, and the storm taking over much of the country, and it's got snow, it's got flooding rains, it's got wind, it's got Arctic air, and you can see Minneapolis at 0, Detroit 31, 41 degrees right now in Philadelphia. So that air continues to move in, and with that fresh Arctic air, it really ignites the storm overnight. Starting to see the precipitation expanding east of that low near Omaha, Minneapolis. This is where snow will start to push its way into Chicago late tonight, into the day tomorrow. So the travel impacts for your Thursday will be hefty from Minneapolis, Chicago, St. Louis to Memphis. Snow there, Toronto, heavy rain along the Appalachians, Pittsburgh. We'll have moderate delays, Philadelphia, Raleigh, Cincinnati with rain here. Strong winds ramp up, and then that area just expands on Friday, the worst of the travel days. Chicago, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Raleigh, Boston, Quebec, Halifax. I mean, it's really the eastern half of the country taking the brunt with this storm. So that AccuWeather alert is in effect for Thursday and Friday. Heavy rain for us, 1 to 2 inches. Strong winds, 50 to 60 plus mile-an-hour wind gusts Thursday night and again on Friday. It will end as snowflakes for most of us, and then that flash freeze sets in as temperatures just plummet Friday after lunchtime. In fact, speaking of Friday in the morning, 52 here is what it'll feel like, 25 below St. Louis, 10 below Memphis, and by the end of the day on Friday, even 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we crashed to 4 degrees for that feel-like temperatures well below 0 just to our north and west. That is going to put a halt on some of our plans here Friday afternoon. We'll chat more about that and the cold Christmas ahead coming up in just a little bit, guys.
Okay, Adam, thank you. And as you just showed us, folks in the northern plains are already feeling the effects of this storm. Video from Montana earlier today shows the first flakes starting to fall there, with wind chills reaching negative 50 degrees. As that storm gains strength, travel delays are expected to ramp up during one of the busiest times of the year. Of course, we've already seen a number of delays today at a very busy Philadelphia International Airport. Airlines are offering waivers now to allow people to change flights to avoid headaches.
And it's not snow that has officials in our area concerned about this storm. It's the combination of heavy rain, strong winds, and the eventual arrival of the most frigid air of the season. New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is live in Pennsauken now with more on the preparations being made. Trish.
Well, Jillian, people have so much to do over the next couple of days, and this weather is not going to help. So from utilities to transportation to small businesses, they're all watching this storm very carefully. The roads are dry now, but tomorrow heavy rain is expected to move in, along with strong wind gusts, 50 to 60 miles per hour, strong enough to potentially bring down tree branches and power lines.
We've been watching this one closely.
PECO's chief operating officer says the company has brought in 100 extra technicians from Connecticut and Virginia, and they're standing by to help with any power outages that may come just before the holiday.
We knew that we were going to need some additional help with the outages, because we certainly want to make sure that we're preparing our customers for Christmas.
After that rain moves through, temperatures are expected to plummet. Hardware stores like True Value in Marlton are stocked with ice melt and shovels. And companies like RPM Heating and Air Conditioning are bracing themselves for a lot of calls from people with no heat.
Usually just, gas furnaces that don't work, heat pumps that freeze up.
Service manager Raymond Moore says check your air filters, and if something isn't working properly, get it fixed now.
If you have noises that aren't normal, call. Get it looked at before the cold snap hits.
Now, we also heard from PennDOT and NJDOT today, and they're preparing, but because of the timing of this storm, any brine that would be put down on the roads would get washed away from the rain. Now, on both sides of the river, they say they will be standing by with salt trucks to treat the roads when it's time. Reporting live in Pensacola, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. Jillian.
All right, Trish, thank you. And be sure to download the 6 ABC app to stay on top of the storm. There, you'll be able to find the latest forecasts from our team of meteorologists and live looks from Storm Tracker 6 radar, even if the power goes out.
Well, people in Manayunk are dealing with quite the mess today. Not one, but two water mains burst this morning, sending muddy water just gushing into the streets. It was like that all morning. That flow has since been shut off, but the work for those impacted is really just getting underway. Action News reporter John Paul has been on the scene all day. He joins us now live in Manayunk with what progress has been made so far, John.
Well, I know they're making progress, Brian, but I think there's actually still some water coming down the street. I'm going to kind of walk this way and show you what we're looking at. Of course, we've got debris all over the streets here, and you still have some of that water flowing down in Manayunk. Look at that. And this has been going now for, what, 9 hours at least? Big area they're working on right now is just up here, but there's also a break down here. So we got two breaks within just about a block of each other, and we also know that street crews are here. They're salting these roads to try to prevent it from freezing. For about an hour this morning, Manayunk looked more like Venice as water filled the streets, all thanks to two broken mains about a block apart on Mansion and Conroe streets.
We have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of water in the basement.
Guillermo Leyva lives right next to the first break. He could hear that there was a problem before he even went outside.
We heard the gushing of the water just go down the street.
And this water was especially tricky for the hilly streets of Manayunk in below freezing temperatures. The streets department was busy dumping salt, trying to prevent it from freezing, but that was an uphill battle, literally.
I'm parked right here, actually. I'm on the street. So depending on how it clears up, I may or may not be calling an Uber to work.
I know that there's some black ice already this morning, so hopefully nothing happens with that.
Heavy machines are brought in to tear into the streets and get to the source of the problem as neighbors and business owners tried to clean up.
Now it's going to be a mess all day getting around.
It has been a mess all day. Back out here live in Manayunk as it continues. Really, the cleanup hasn't even started because they're still working on the repairs up the street. So the question here is, what happened? Why did these two mains break, especially so close to each other? Well, there is a construction site right over here, and I did ask Philadelphia Water about that. They said they're looking at everything, but they're also looking at the cold temperatures, and right now they're leaning toward the temperatures as the reason for these breaks. And we know we have more cold temperatures on the horizon. For now, we are live in Manayunk. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Jillian?
Yes, we do. It seems like it's going to get much colder. John, thank you. The city of Philadelphia welcomed 3 more buses filled with asylum seekers this morning at 30th Street Station. More than 100 people were greeted by city staff and volunteers offering resources and aid. The migrants then boarded SEPTA buses to take them to the city's Welcome Center in North Philadelphia. There have now been 12 buses with migrants that have arrived in Philadelphia since November. Police officers in the 19th District were recognized today for their dedication to Philadelphia students. Overbrook High School staff and administrators presented a basket and plaque to officers involved in the District Safety Zone program. The gift was an expression of gratitude for their dedication and service.
So today is kind of a big day for us and for you, our viewers. In just about 2 hours' time, our steady hand, our anchor, our friend, Jim Gardner, will deliver his final newscast. It's hard to get those words out. We all know how much Jim has meant to our region for the last 46 years, but if you needed a little more proof, take a look at this. The Radnor Township Police Department provided Jim with a full police escort as he made his way to work today, and Chopper 6 was overhead to document those moments, as Jim has done so many moments over these many years. We do hope you'll join us for Action News at 6 tonight as Jim signs off and sets off into a richly deserved retirement. And be sure to join us as well tomorrow night as we look back on Jim's just incredible career, 46 years of stories that have shaped our region, our newsroom, and all of us as individuals in the process. We celebrate Jim Gardner tomorrow night at 8 p.m., but of course that's been going on all day and all week here, and frankly, we don't want it to end.
A lot of stories, a lot of tears, a lot of hugs.
Yeah.
You know, he's special to all of us, to everyone at home. So definitely be watching.
Been quite a day today.
You know who else is special? Jessica Boynton.
Sure do.
The Action News traffic report.
Live with a first look at the afternoon commute here today. Hey, Jess.
Special for a whole bunch of different reasons, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what you meant, guys. We're watching things out in Broomall right now. So on the Blue Route, moving southbound just near the Westchester Pike off-ramp, we're seeing some delays here. There's an accident scene just up ahead with it being partially blocked. So now we're slow there, and then we're seeing some southbound delays as well. If you're moving through Center City, you're not so fast. The Vine Street Expressway moving westbound just around Broad Street. We have this off into the right-hand shoulder. You can see even on the eastbound side, we're seeing a little bit of delay. But the most important part is this is backing up all the way on the Ben Franklin Bridge. So everybody trying to merge and get to the Vine Street Expressway, whenever there's something big enough that's causing huge delays there, it'll back up the span of the bridge here. And I wanted to check how far. It looks like it's just about mid-span of the bridge where we start to see some of those delays. So at least it's not backed up past the toll plaza yet. I have seen that happen though, so I'm going to keep my eyes on that for you in case it gets any worse. If we're moving through the work zone here on the Roosevelt Boulevard, it looks all right. You can obviously see construction here to the northeast, no issues. If you're heading southbound though to the Schuylkill Expressway, a touch slow there as usual. Out in 295 moving south just before the 42 freeway here, almost approaching that Belmar area. We have a crash. Traffic is getting by the scene just fine for now, and some sun glare. Here we go, 95. This is the Girard Point Bridge. So coming right out of South Philadelphia, there's a little construction over here, or at least that shoulder loss. But right now, southbound towards the airport, just a touch slow with some of that sun glare. Brian and Jillian, back over to you.
Pop on the shades and make it home just
exactly.
Okay, Jessica, thanks. It's still ahead here at 4 o'clock today. An historic meeting inside the Oval Office. President Joe Biden greets Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in his first trip out of Ukraine since Russia invaded that country. The commitment just made today by President Biden.
And later, the must-see moment when a local mother of 3 gets the surprise of a lifetime just in time for the holidays. Right now, Congress is considering $45 billion in additional funding for the war-stricken country of Ukraine. The expected vote comes on the same day as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a surprise visit to the United States. He met with President Joe Biden at the White House before he addresses a joint meeting of Congress tonight. The Biden administration also announcing today an additional $2 billion security assistance package, which will include Patriot missiles for the first time.
We're going to continue to strengthen Ukraine's ability to defend itself, particularly air defense, and that's why we're going to be providing Ukraine with Patriot missile battery.
It has been 300 days since Russia first invaded Ukraine. This is the first time Zelensky left his country since the invasion.
Embattled FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has agreed now to be extradited from the Bahamas to the United States. Fried is facing criminal charges related to the rapid collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange he founded. He was arrested in the Bahamas last week at the request of the U.S. government. The 30-year-old could potentially spend the rest of his life in jail if convicted on the charges against him. Well, the House January 6th committee is expected to release its final report on the findings of its investigation today. The full report is the culmination of the committee's inquiry into that attack on the United States Capitol. The committee concluded that former President Donald Trump was ultimately responsible for the violent riot. Members laid out a trove of evidence for why Trump should be prosecuted by the Department of Justice for several crimes. All right, take a look at Wall Street here this Wednesday afternoon, and a nice change of pace here. The stocks rising significantly today. The Dow Jones up 527 points. The Nasdaq up 162.25. The S&P 500 also up just about 57 points on the day.
Yeah, we like seeing those green arrows. And folks who are doing last-minute holiday shopping in Center City have more places to choose from this year. That's because for the second consecutive year, more stores have opened than closed. That's according to Center City District officials. 80% of storefronts are occupied, which is up from 45% during the summer of 2020. And it is nearing the 89% occupancy before the pandemic. They also say there is a shift happening in the types of stores that are opening. While some companies have chosen to focus on online retail, others are doing the opposite.
What we've seen is the backfill of a lot of these spaces by these emergent digitally native brands. Glossier, Brooklyn, and Gorgiana. I think some of the ones that are coming soon include Outdoor Voices, Flaherty, Third Love. I mean, quite frankly, these are brands that my teenager knows more about than I do. So I think there's a little bit of a generational shift happening as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some stores that start online and then open retail stores. And we are also told 47 more stores are opening soon.
And that's really good news.
It is.
All right, well, our weather computers are working overtime here today as we are tracking that very eventful, complex system making its way in our direction.
Yes, it is. Meteorologist Adam Joseph is in the weather center, and the timing of this is just rough for so many.
Really rough, and it's long lasting with these impacts. The first being a flood watch. Flood watch in effect tomorrow afternoon through Friday morning. The Delaware Valley to the north in northern New Jersey, the Lehigh Valley, even the Poconos. This area getting 1 to 2 inches of rain. The ground is rather solid right now over the last several nights of well below zero freezing temperatures, that is. So there'll be a lot of excessive runoff into the creeks as well as the roadway. So first you got to watch the water, then the wind, then the freeze. Right now 39 Allentown, Trenton, 41 Philadelphia, 42 in Millville, 38 in Cape May. Satellite radar, we see moisture gaining some momentum off of the Atlantic down to the Carolinas. Storms starting to ramp up in the Midwest. These are the two pieces starting to come together. So as you head out the door tomorrow morning, we should get through that morning rush hour without any rainfall. Temperatures near freezing. Rain comes in, and it's rain from the start here across the entire area. Could you get a couple of sleet pellets in the farther northern hills near Reading and Allentown? Sure, but it's a rain event. This is lunchtime. Just pouring for the evening rush tomorrow. Low visibility, ponding on the roads as temperatures warm into the 50s, mid 50s to near 60 here. 10 o'clock tomorrow night. There could be a rumble of thunder, powerful winds over 50 miles an hour tomorrow night with that rain. A bit of a break Friday morning with temperatures in the 40s. Then the Arctic front comes through, and you are going to know when that front barrels through. You'll get rain flipping over to maybe some snow squalls here with temperatures at 10 a.m. crashing to the 20s to the west, still above freezing in Philadelphia, but by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, air temperatures in the teens, so we will not have time to dry out most surfaces as that Arctic front comes through before those temperatures drop. So that flash freeze, we've been talking about this for days, continues to be a main concern on Friday. Main highways, it is possible. Hopefully they treat those well and they're highly traveled to try to dry it out a little bit. But walkways, driveways, overpasses, secondary roads, a high risk that it becomes a slick, almost ice skating rink as those temperatures plummet with the ground wet. So your 4-day at 4 forecast. Thursday, heavy rain develops, flooding possible, 48. Powerful winds Thursday night, and with the front on Friday. Rain going over to wet snowflakes, then the freeze as temperatures fall from the 50s in the morning to teens by afternoon. Saturday, wind chills in the single digits all day for Christmas Eve. 21, no precipitation over the weekend, but Christmas Day, just 25. Wind chills remaining in the teens. Cannot stress enough that by Friday, as that front comes through, you definitely do not want to be out and about come in the afternoon, especially if roads are not treated. Much more in the 7-day forecast. Brian.
All right, very good. Adam, thank you. Well, the football world is mourning the loss of the man who was on the receiving end of one of the most iconic plays in all of sports. Franco Harris, whose immaculate reception helped launch the Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty in the 1970s, has died at the age of 72. Harris grew up in Burlington County. Action News reporter Walter Perez joining us now live from Mount Holly with more on how he's being remembered at his alma mater today. Walter.
That's right, Brian. Franco Harris passed away just 3 days before Pittsburgh is scheduled to retire his number 32 during halftime of the Raiders game this coming weekend. And all day long, the tributes have been rolling in, including right here, as you can see, in his beloved hometown. He will be remembered as one of the greatest NFL running backs ever, who pulled off one of the greatest plays in football history, a play that's remembered as the Immaculate Reception. But in this part of Burlington County, Franco Harris will also be remembered as the icon who never forgot about his hometown.
He loved Mount Holly.
Carmen Sella was Franco's running backs coach at Rancocas Valley High School back in the 1960s.
He loved this little town where he grew up, and he always came back, would donate money, would give us money in our group to give to the recreation.
And that is just one of the many reasons why Rancocas Valley High School has a Franco Harris shrine set up in the front lobby. And Bob Sapp, who was an offensive lineman for Rancocas Valley back then, says even after a Hall of Fame career, he and Franco remain friends.
He and I always had a little running joke. He would see people and he'd say, yes, Bob did block for me. Because I would make sure that they knew that, even if he didn't say it, and then he finally just picked it up and just ran with it.
The Red Devils' current head football coach says with news that Franco Harris has passed away, he is more dedicated than ever to make sure that his players and the rest of the student body understand why Harris is so revered by so many people.
It's living history here in this hallway, and I think it's big for the kids to see that and to learn the history, respect the history, and embrace it.
I'm in the process, or have been in the process, we're going to have a street named after him. But as a person, he was super, super.
A Penn State legend, 4-time Super Bowl champion, and Pro Football Hall of Famer, Franco Harris has passed away at the age of 72. Reporting live from Mount Holly, Walter Perez, Channel 6 Action News. Brian and Jillian.
Yeah, what a legacy in professional sports, and of course right there where it matters most, in his hometown. Walter, thanks.
More Action News after this.
Well, Santa and Mrs. Claus ditched the sleigh for today because this is pretty darn cool, too. They led a convoy of fire trucks and police cruisers down the streets of North Philadelphia. They had a very special mission there this morning during the 24th Police District's annual Children's Christmas Motorcade. 3 deserving families were chosen to get a big delivery of gifts ahead of Christmas Day.
Oh, so special. And so is this. There was some high-flying excitement in Hunting Park today to lift the spirits of pediatric hospital patients. Superheroes including Captain America, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and more were called in to clean the windows at St. Christopher's. The characters rappelled from the roof and worked their way down, waving to children on each and every floor. These workers came from Facilicare Solutions based in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
A holiday made for a single mom. Her story caught the eye of local businessmen looking to do good, and she was rewarded big time.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's her.
It's me! It's me! I love this reaction. Single mother of 3, Brianna Brown of Upper Darby, was ecstatic as she received the keys to a new car and a house full of furniture valued at $40,000, courtesy of Danny's Auto and Best Buy Furniture. Philly rapper Gilly the King and Wallow were on hand to share in that gift-giving process. Following and commenting on a post on social media is all it took for Brianna. Jordan Lulu of Best Buy Furniture went through every comment, and he saw her story in particular.
Yeah, we love to give back. We love our customers. They're our family, and anything and any time that we have to give back to them, we want to do so.
Now, Brianna Brown says she does everything for her kids, calling this new ride her kids' car. Guys.
A new car and a new house with all that furniture. Good stuff.
Merry Christmas indeed.
Maggie, thank you. Action News at 4 continues right after this. Hello again, 4:30 now, and Action News continues with an AccuWeather alert issued for that massive storm system set to impact our region over the next 48 hours.
Yeah, we are expecting everything from heavy rain to powerful winds and a flash freeze, and it all starts tomorrow morning.
A little bit of everything. For more on what is to come, let's get right over to meteorologist Adam Joseph, tracking all of it in the Weather Center.
Yeah, quiet now, but tomorrow morning that rain starts to approach from the south and west. Right now we're seeing the beginning stages of the storm developing in the nation's heartland here on Storm Tracker 6 Live. All snow at this point. Blizzard conditions are likely in this region of the country, so if you expected to travel anywhere in the northern plains, Great Lakes, Chicago, down to St. Louis, starting tomorrow, it is going to be a nightmare trying to get out west. Also heading down south, heavy rain and strong winds tomorrow as well. 7 a.m. It is dry here, but soon after that rain sets in, it's a soaking rain for the evening rush hour. Morning rush should be just fine, and it's all water, even up into Williamsport, the Poconos, northern Pennsylvania, southern New England. This is all rain to start for the entire day on Thursday. In fact, there's a flood watch up. We could see between 1 and 2 inches of rainfall. The Poconos, Lehigh Valley, between 2 and 3 inches of rain. So it's a super soaker, powerful wind. So with this AccuWeather alert here, the ground is rather solid after we've had several nights below that 32-degree threshold. So runoff, street flooding, winds gusting 50 to 60 plus miles an hour. Brief flakes at the end with the Arctic front on Friday, and that will create a freeze up everywhere on the roads, the sidewalks on either side of midday on Friday. More on that and the weekend ahead, and that's 7 Day in just a little bit.
All right. See you shortly, Adam. Thank you. And that forecast may be responsible for an even busier day for retailers than normal as last-minute shoppers try to avoid all that weather.
Yeah, they don't want to be out in that tomorrow. No. Action News reporter Katie Catro spent the day with people as they crossed items off their lists, and she's live in Center City with more. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Jillian and Brian. I think most people out here listen to Adam's forecast because they're out here in big crowds today doing their last-minute holiday shopping, as you can see over here, and they've really been out all day long.
The weather is fabulous today. I know tomorrow is supposed to be really, really bad.
Many people downtown say they are getting their holiday shopping done today because of the expected weather tomorrow.
We're not coming out in the rain with a little one.
Some vendors at Christmas Village said they may board up the next 2 days.
I think tomorrow we're gonna close. And hopefully Saturday, it's going to be a nice day and we can catch up.
Good weather is definitely important for us because also with the rain, it means less people, less shoppers. And with that also, we can't have like our clothing out or anything, so it's kind of difficult with the bad weather.
But for today, shoppers said they wanted to make a point to shop outside in Center City.
No, I like these activities around the holiday season, and they have nice gifts that you can get for loved ones.
It's definitely great. I like that these are local vendors, I think, for the most part, so it's good to be able to give back to our community.
Yeah, now as the sun is going down, many people are stopping by after work with bags in their hands. And a lot of people we spoke with also said that they are procrastinators, but the weather is helping push things along and they are getting stuff done early by getting it all done today. I'm reporting live here in Center City. Katie Catro, Channel 6, Action News. Back to you.
Just a little bit extra inspiration to get that list done. Katie, thank you. Well, a SEPTA train destroyed a car in Lansdowne, Delaware County today. Chopper 6 was over the scene along the unit block of South Union Avenue. You can see that severely mangled white vehicle off to the side of the tracks. Witnesses told authorities the car tried to cross in front of the train when it was hit. We're still waiting at this point to find out if anyone was hurt here. Police are searching for 4 men accused of carrying out a brutal robbery inside a West Philadelphia laundromat last week. Officials released this surveillance video showing the assailants following the victim into that business in the 5100 block of Market Street. This back on December 12th. The men immediately attacked him, stealing his prescription medication and wallet. Gratefully, the victim was not seriously hurt here. If you've got any information on this crime, you're asked to contact police today. Well, as inflation continues impacting our pocketbooks, one of the places it's hitting consumers hardest remains the grocery store.
You know, it really does. And so for the first time in 4 years, our friends at Consumers Checkbook have gone shopping in the Delaware Valley to compare prices as well as quality.
Our Nydia Hahn joins us now live in studio to break down some of the results. Nydia.
Yeah, we are saving with 6 ABC today, finding out where you can save money, how you can save money on your groceries. Checkbook looked at 20 grocery stores and delivery services in our area. And the result at one popular chain surprised its researchers so much, they shopped it again to make sure they got it right.
Everything went up in the past year. Eggs, milk, butter.
You gotta buy everything on sale.
So Consumers Checkbook went shopping. For price, it shopped a list of 154 common grocery items. For quality, it surveyed area consumers.
We found that for the most part, stores here in the Philadelphia area had about the same prices in terms of how they ranked relatively as they did 4 years ago.
But there was one change with Wegmans. Checkbook says while it still earns very high ratings for quality, you're paying more for it.
According to our survey, now has pretty high prices, almost as high as Whole Foods, which for many years now has been the highest price chain in the area. That was a big shift.
Checkbook shopped Wegmans again and got the same results. Overall, its prices were 18% higher than the average at all other stores Checkbook researched. On the flip side, prices at Grocery Outlet were about 20% lower than the average. Walmart's prices were 17% lower, Food Lion's 10% lower. For a family that spends $250 per week at the supermarket, a 20% price difference could total more than $2,500 a year in savings. A 10% price difference would total $1,300. But one warning, you may sacrifice some quality and selection. For instance, Grocery Outlet carried only 27% of the items on Checkbook's list.
Here in the Delaware Valley area, there's really no good option anymore if you want high quality products, high quality produce and meats, for example, and you want to save money or at least not overpay.
So if it doesn't cost you a lot more gas money, Checkbook recommends shopping at several stores to get all the items on your list. Now, Checkbook says Target also has low grocery prices, 6% lower than average. And remember, no matter where you shop, you can save by buying store brands. We reached out to Wegmans, by the way, multiple times, but never got a response. Jillian, back to you.
Fascinating report, Nydia. Thank you. Okay. And now to this. Hundreds of children in Delaware are now better prepared for the incoming frigid temperatures. Operation Warm delivered more than 500 coats to Ritchie Elementary School in Newport during a special parade today. A convoy of nearly 30 vehicles, including a fire truck with Santa, unloaded dozens of boxes outside of the school. Students were also treated to a performance by the Sixers Drumline Band. Still to come on Action News at 4, did you have an ingredient house or a ready-made one? If you don't know what that means, stick around because you probably had one at least.
Yeah. And before we head to break, we are getting set to bid farewell to our friend and our colleague, Jim Gardner, tonight by taking a look back. Here's what he had to say about the idea of leaving Philadelphia.
It just never occurred to me to leave. There were a couple of opportunities earlier on. I never gave it a moment's thought. I loved living in Philadelphia. I loved the city. I loved the region. I loved Channel 6. I loved the sports teams. And I was creating a family and raising a family. Most often in this business, we're vagabonds. We're 5 years here, we're 3 years there, we're 2. That's not the kind of life I would ever want to lead. So I've had an extraordinary opportunity. It's unusual to be the anchor of a 6-11 o'clock newscast at the same television station for generations. I appreciate that opportunity. I am blessed to have had that opportunity.
It's time now for Big Talkers. Is this Grinchy or a practice of gratitude? We're all weighing in on this one. A debate is raging online about Christmas morning and the best way to open up presents in a frenzy or a controlled, timed manner. A dad on Reddit posted that he and his wife have very different views, that Christmas has become, quote, annoying because his wife rations the gifts, only allowing their children to open one gift every hour or two. He said he'd rather take turns all at once, of course. One person said the Christmas magic would wear off. Enforcing this rule has to be a nightmare. Another posted that not each gift carries the same excitement, writing, "Oh, sorry, Braden, you opened a pack of slippers from your aunt. You have to wait another 59 minutes for something fun." But others see where the mom here is well-intentioned. It works if the children get easily overwhelmed, and it gives them a chance to savor every gift and respond with a proper thank you instead of just throwing a ball of wrapping paper in your face.
That's what we would do.
Yeah.
We would open them all.
I was a wrapping paper thrower, yes.
It is a balance you got to strike. I mean, I got 3 youngish kids who want to tear into it, but you want to stretch it out.
And you spend all the time buying the perfect gift, and then they're like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, right.
So I kind of get it.
You got it.
Okay, so here's a question. You know the little green vegetable that's part of the cabbage family that people usually either love or hate? Yes, this. Go ahead, take a look. The Brussels sprout, or is it the Brussels sprout? Turns out it's the latter. A poll revealed more than 75% of people call it by the wrong name. Yes, myself included, all these 40 years of life. Its name comes from the Belgian capital city of Brussels. And now some fun facts about the little leafy green. Consuming 1 cup of sprouts will give you 195% of your daily recommendation of vitamin K and 125% of vitamin C. That's according to thefactsite.com. Now the site also says, you ready for it? In 2008, a Swedish man consumed 31 Brussels sprouts in 1 minute. So if you at home are watching and you decide to try to beat that for your holiday dinner, please let me know. Don't send pictures. But yes, the Brussels sprout. Did you guys know that?
No, we've all been saying it wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't like, they're not delicious to me.
Oh, I love what?
Do you?
Oh, I love them.
I know they're like a delicacy.
Gotta roast them, Bri.
I like them crunchy.
Yes.
All right, I need some ingredients, some recipes.
Oh, I see
and
what you're doing here.
Speaking of, this question now that's been fodder for lots of debate and discussion online in recent weeks, and I bet it's one that you can relate to. Did you grow up in an ingredient household or a ready-made one? This topic is hugely viral on TikTok. The hashtag ingredient household racking up more than 56 million views. So what does it even mean? Well, if you grew up in a ready-made household, your freezer was likely stocked with frozen pizzas. Yours was a grab-and-go childhood. If yours was an ingredient house, though, it was more likely dough, pasta sauce, and mozzarella. Hungry? Make something. As it turns out, that experience shapes so much of our experience as adults. Check this out. Quote, saw on TikTok explaining that there's ingredient households and ready-made households, and I'm finally understanding why my partner never thinks we have food when I'm like, all the things to make it are right there. Yes, ingredient people are much more adaptive. They can make a snack out of just about anything. A spoonful of peanut butter, for instance, croutons, the ingredients are the snack. The ready-made folks tend to be a bit higher maintenance. I'm in this group. I'm sorry, no sandwich, a crouton with no salad around it. If it's not pre-made, it simply doesn't exist. So if either describes you, know that this is likely rooted in your youth. And if you're the ingredient type, perhaps a bit more patience for those of us who can't quite see the snack until it's fully assembled.
But what does it say when my brother is the ingredient type? He hand makes everything.
Right.
Like for
And
holidays,
you're
it's impressive. I can't make anything, but we did grow up kind of with both. So I don't believe there's one or the other.
I don't know.
Maggie?
I'll eat 70 olives for dinner. That's all I have to say. I'm all about the ingredients.
Or 31 Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. All right, what do you say we get another check on the roads right now?
Hey, Jess, she's been over there laughing.
I'm thinking. I'm realizing, and I have an explanation now for why I had a handful of chocolate chips last night when I wanted something sweet. There it is, guys. It's ingredients. Watching the Schuylkill Expressway, though, to start westbound, right around Bear Avenue. Looks like some of this is pulling out of the way. Disabled vehicle right here on this westbound side, only allowing one lane to get by the scene. I wanted to check in with drive times here because they are massive and really for no reason. From the length of the Blue Route to the Vine, both directions are just about 40 minutes, 42 minutes on that eastbound side. Speeds into the teens, so everyone is out and about right now. Out in Towamencin, Old 40-foot road, north and south at Bridge Road. There's a crash there as well. Brian and Jillian.
All right, Jessica, thank you. I'm grateful we got through talkers because this would have been a tough transition. We want to take you live to the White House now where President Joe Biden and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky have just met. They are now holding a joint news conference.
That's right, and this is the first time Zelensky left his country since the invasion. Let's listen.
Because leadership through this terrible crisis has inspired the Ukrainian people, as you have done, Mr. President, and the American people and the entire world. This visit to Washington, your first trip outside Ukraine since February, comes as President Putin has escalated his attacks, his brutal attacks, targeting critical infrastructure to make life as hard as possible for not only innocent Ukrainians, but children and young children, and everything from orphanages to schools. It's just outrageous what he's doing. And we've, as we've heard as we head into the new year, it's important for the American people and for the world to hear directly from you, Mr. President, about Ukraine's fight and the need to continue to stand together through 2023. This visit also falls on the 300-day mark of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. 300 days since Putin launched an unprovoked, unjustified, all-out assault on the free people of Ukraine. 300 days of Ukrainian people showing Russia and the world their steel backbone, their love of country, and their unbreakable determination, and I emphasize unbreakable determination, to choose their own path. To Ukrainian people, I say to them all, you have demonstrated, you have shown your strong stand against aggression in the face of the imperial appetites of autocrats who wrongfully believed they might be able to make might right, and they're not able to do it. Thus far, they've stood alone, and but you haven't stood alone. You have had significant help. We've never stand alone. You will never stand alone. When Ukraine's freedom was threatened, the American people, like generations of Americans before us, did not hesitate. The support from all across this country, Americans of every walk of life, Democrats and Republicans alike, had the resources and to rebound and resounding united way to provide unequivocal and unbending support for Ukraine. Because we understand in our bones that Ukraine's fight is part of something much bigger. The American people know that if we stand by in the face of such blatant attacks on liberty and democracy and the core principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity, the world would surely face worse consequences. And as I said, when Putin rolled his tanks into Ukraine in February, American people are prepared to have us stand up to bullies, stand up for freedom. That's who we are as Americans, and that's exactly what we've done. Even before the invasion began and Putin threatened Ukraine by building up his forces, we helped make sure Ukraine would be prepared to defend itself, even before they crossed into Ukraine. We provided a steady stream of defensive weapons, including air defense systems and artillery, ammunition, and so much more. And we've not done it alone. From the very beginning, the United States rallied allies and partners from around the world to stand strong with Ukraine and impose unprecedented, and I emphasize unprecedented, sanctions and export controls on Russia, making it harder for the Kremlin to wage this brutal war. More than 50 nations have committed nearly 2,000 tanks and other armored vehicles, more than 800 artillery systems, more than 2 million rounds of artillery ammunition, and more than 50 advanced multiple rocket launching systems, anti-ship and air defense systems, all to strengthen Ukraine. Together, we provided billions of dollars in direct budgetary support to make sure the Ukrainian government can keep providing basic fundamental services to the Iranian people, like health care, education, and emergency personnel. This includes another $2 billion that in direct budget support from the American people that the World Bank distributed earlier this week. We provided humanitarian assistance to help the millions of Ukrainians who have been forced to flee their homes because of Putin's inhumane, brutal war. Communities across Europe have opened their hearts and their homes to help Ukrainians in need. The United States has been proud to welcome more than 221,000 Ukrainians seeking refuge since March of 2022, including as part of Uniting for Ukraine, as part of our Uniting for Ukraine program. And today, USAID is committing more than $374 million in urgently needed humanitarian assistance for Ukraine. This will help provide food and cash assistance for more than 1.5 million Ukrainian people, as well as access to health care, safe drinking water, and help stay warm in the winter for more than 2.5 million Ukrainians. The United States and our allies and partners around the world have delivered a broad range of assistance at historic speed and has been critical to bolstering Ukraine's success thus far. Ukraine has won the Battle of Kyiv, has won the Battle of Kherson, has won the Battle of Kharkiv. Ukraine has defied Russia's expectations at every single turn. And President Zelensky, you have made it clear that he is open to pursuing, well, let me put it this way. He's not open, but you're open to pursuing peace. You're open to pursuing a just peace. We also know that Putin has no intention of stopping this cruel war. And the United States is committed to ensuring that the brave Ukrainian people can continue to defend their country against Russian aggression as long as it takes. And I want to thank the members of Congress for their broad bipartisan support to Ukraine. And I look forward to signing the omnibus bill soon, which includes $45 billion in additional funding for Ukraine. I'll also sign into law the National Defense Authorization Act, which includes authorities to make it easier for the Department of Defense to procure critical munitions and defense materials for Ukraine and other key materials to strengthen our national security. Today, I'm announcing the next tranche of our security assistance to Ukraine. $1.85 billion package of security assistance that includes both direct transfers of equipment that Ukraine needs, as well as contracts to supply ammunition Ukraine will need in the months ahead for its artillery its tanks, and its rocket launchers. Critically, in addition to these new capabilities, like precision aerial munitions, the package will include a Patriot missile battery, on which will train Ukrainian forces to operate as part of the ongoing effort to help bolster Ukraine's air defense. This could take some time to complete the necessary training, but the Patriot battery will be another critical asset for Ukraine as it defends itself against Russian aggression. Altogether, today's new security assistance with humanitarian funding amounts to $2.2 billion in additional support for the Ukrainian people. We should be clear about what Russia is doing. It is purposefully attacking Ukraine's critical infrastructure, destroying the systems that provide heat and light to the Ukrainian people during the coldest, darkest part of the year. Russia is using winter as a weapon, freezing people, starving people, cutting them off from one another. It's the latest example of the outrageous atrocities the Russian forces are committing against innocent Ukrainian civilians, children, and their families. And the United States is working together with our allies and partners to provide critical equipment to help Ukraine make emergency repairs to their power transmission systems and strengthen the stability of Ukraine's grid in the face of Russia's targeted attacks. We're also working to hold Russia accountable, including efforts in Congress that will make it easier to seek justice for Russia's war crimes in Ukraine. Let me close with this. Tonight is the fourth night of Hanukkah, a time when Jewish people around the world, President Zelensky and many of the families among them, honor the timeless miracle of a small band of warriors fighting for their values and their freedom against a much larger foe, and how they endured and how they overcame. How the flame of faith, with only enough oil for one day, burned brightly for 8 days. The story of survival and resilience that reminds us that the coldest days of the year, that light will always prevail over darkness, and hope drives away despair. And that the human spirit is unconquerable as long as there are good people willing to do what is right. This year has brought so much needless suffering and loss to the Ukrainian people. But I want you to know, President Zelensky, I want you to know that all the people of Ukraine to know as well. The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes. What you're doing, what you've achieved, it matters not just to Ukraine, but to the entire world. And together, I have no doubt we'll keep the flame of liberty burning bright, and the light will remain and prevail over the darkness. Thank you for being here, Mr. President. We're going to stand with you.
Thank you. Шановний пане президенте.
Dear Mr. President, please put on the equipment.
Шановний
Once
пане
again,
президенте Байден.
Mr. President,
Шановні
President
присутні,
Biden,
шановні журналісти,
audience,
пані та
journalists,
панове.
ladies and gentlemen.
Я приїхав до
I
Сполучених
came here
Штатів,
to the United
щоб
States
передати слова
to
вдячності
forward
від українського народу усім
thank
американцям,
the word of
народу,
thanks
який
to
робить
the
так
people of
багато для
America,
України. Я дякую вам
people
всім
who
за
do
це.
so much for Ukraine. I am
Цей
thankful
візит
for all of
Сполучені
this.
Штати
This
Америки
visit
став
to the United States
дійсно
became
історичним для
really a
України, для наших
historic
відносин
one
з
for our
Америкою і для
relations
американського
with the
лідерства.
United States and the American
За 300
leadership.
днів
In the
цієї
last 30
війни
days of
ми
this
розпочали
war,
дійсно новий
we have
етап
started a
наших
new
взаємних
phase of
України і США. Ми
our
вийшли на
interrelations with the
рівень
United States.
реальних.
And you have been listening to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and, of course, with President Joe Biden in what amounts to an historic meeting and news conference there at the White House. This is the first time that Zelensky has been in the United States, and for that matter, for as far as we're concerned, the first time he's left Ukraine since the war began with Russia some 300 days ago.
That's right. And President Zelensky will address a joint meeting of Congress later tonight. And actually, I have learned this afternoon that one of our local congressmen, Brian Fitzpatrick, will be one of his escorts to the House floor.
And that news conference is still underway. You can see it on 6abc.com. In the meantime, that'll do it for Action News at 4 today. Now, for Jillian Mealy, Sarah Bloomquist, Christy Aletto, Maggie Kent, Adam Joseph, the entire Action News team, I'm Brian Taft.
Action News at 5 is coming your way next.
Good night.
Action News, Delaware Delaware Valley's leading news program with meteorologists Cecily Tynan, Alicia Vitarelli, Shari Williams, and Rick Williams.
Now at 5, a massive storm is forming and threatening to paralyze travel during this busy holiday week. Almost the entire country will be seeing the effects of the system that'll bring blizzard conditions, damaging winds, and a drastic drop in temperatures. It is Wednesday night. Shari is off. Maggie Kent is joining us. And the big story on Action News is the winter storm that will be sweeping across our region right before Christmas Eve.
More than 90 million people are under weather advisories. Let's get right out to meteorologist Cecily Tynan tracking the latest timing of this holiday storm. Could not be worse for travel.
Exactly, because it's coming during really the busiest travel time of the year. The low pressure I'm tracking is across the northern plains, and this is creating some heavy snow. It's being fueled by true Arctic air. That temperature in Minneapolis right now, 0. We made it up to 42 degrees today. First, we get the rain, and then we get the cold air with a potential for snow and a flash freeze. So this really is a 2-day event. First, we get that heavy rain. We're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain with the potential for some localized flooding. It'll come with some strong winds, the potential for some convective activity, which are thunderstorms tomorrow night. That's when those winds could be gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. And then on Friday, we get the Arctic front. That could come with some snow showers, maybe even some snow squalls. The bigger concern will be the flash freeze, where with the temperatures dropping so quickly, anything wet will be freezing over solid. And this is not just confined to our area. This is a really far-reaching storm. Travel impacts tomorrow, you can see they will be high across the Midwest through the Great Lakes just west of our area. And then on Friday, the travel impacts really expand all across the Midwest, the Northeast, even down through the Tennessee Valley, and of course, including our area. I will break it down region by region and talk about the coldest Christmas Eve and Christmas since 1989 to follow coming up in the full AccuWeather forecast. You definitely want to stay weather aware over the next few days.
Wow, I was just 10 years old then. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, right.
All right, don't laugh too hard. Thanks, Cess. We'll check back in later. Meantime, crews throughout the region are getting ready to respond once the wintry weather arrives. PennDOT and New Jersey DOT say they are standing by with salt trucks to treat the roadways. Meanwhile, PECO has brought in 100 additional technicians to help with any power outages.
Now, travel, of course, as Cecily mentioned, will be challenging as we get closer to Christmas. Many airlines are already canceling flights, and drivers are now hitting the road a little bit earlier than expected to avoid those slick spots. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher, she's live at Philadelphia International Airport with the travel troubles right now. Good evening, Brianna.
Hey, good evening, Maggie. Well, most people dream of having a white Christmas, but nothing's going to be pretty about the weather over the next few days. That is why travel experts are recommending you move up your plans early if you can.
This weather throws a significant monkey wrench into those travel plans, whether you plan to go by car or plane or other modes of transportation.
Friday, which according to AAA would be the peak holiday travel day, is now going to be the most dangerous.
Whether you're shopping, whether you are heading to the grocery store, whether you're traveling to your destination, it's going to be treacherous, if not dangerous, out there on the roadways on Friday.
AAA predicts that nearly 1.3 million people throughout Philadelphia will be traveling this holiday season. 90% of those will be traveling by car, like the Pedrick family, who already planned to beat the rush before learning about the weather.
We didn't even pay attention to the weather. I was just like, we're leaving today, but we left super early.
Like Santa, some people have to travel no matter what the conditions are. Truck drivers recommend staying home if you can.
Don't go on the road if you don't have to, and try to stay off the major highways that are going to jam up if you eventually crash.
According to AAA, 88,000 people plan to travel by plane. People flying out of or arriving to PHL today are grateful they beat the storm.
I'm lucky because I need to get up there, you know.
It's going to be warmer over here than it is where we're from. 3 degrees below 0 for the wind chill.
For Sammy Abdul, he's escaping the cold, traveling to Miami, but he's due back here on Christmas Eve. If his flight gets canceled, he'll make the best of the additional sunshine.
Probably just grab a new flight and enjoy Miami for a day or two.
Now, AAA recommends checking the status of your flight before you drive out to the airport. And if you are driving somewhere over the next few days, make sure your vehicle is equipped with an emergency kit in case you get stuck. For now, we're live from PHL. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Maggie?
All right, Brianna, thank you. Emergency kit and presents to be packed. All right, one last thing drivers won't have to worry about is when they hit the road, gas prices. In Philadelphia and South Jersey, the cost of a gallon of gas has dropped 12 cents in the last week. The average in the city is $3.49. In South Jersey, drivers are paying $3.21. And in Delaware, gas is $3. Head over to 6abc.com to get the very latest on the storm and its impact on our travel. You can view Storm Tracker 6 live radar and get updates from AccuWeather and the team of meteorologists.
In other news tonight, police are looking for a gunman who opened fire in the Mayfair section of the city just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. 2 men were injured in the shooting here on the 4600 block of Vista Street. One of the victims drove himself to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital and is in stable condition. A 31-year-old man was shot once in the chest and is in critical condition. Police are still searching for a motive at this hour. 3 buses with asylum seekers arrived in Philadelphia from Texas today. The city provided them with warm clothing, food, drinks, and other necessities for the 125 migrants on board. 77 of them were taken to the city's welcoming facility. So far, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has sent 12 buses from the Lone Star State to Philadelphia since November. City leaders have been criticizing the governor, though, for transporting the asylum seekers with little or to no notice.
Tonight, crews continue working to repair 2 water main breaks in Minnehaha. Water gushed down Mansion and Conroe streets while temperatures were still below freezing. Roads were blocked during the morning commute and salt trucks were brought in to prevent the water from freezing. No word yet on what caused these main breaks.
Well, tonight is a bittersweet day here at Action News as we celebrate Jim Gardner. Jim will be anchoring his final newscast tonight at 6 o'clock.
We at Action News are joining fans across the Delaware Valley to thank Jim for all he's done for our community for the last 46 years. And with more on that, Action News reporter Andy McCormick is live outside the 6 ABC studios with more on our celebration of Jim.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Maggie and Rick, and that's right. What other way would Philly say goodbye to Jim Gardner without a tailgate, right? This was all organized by Chris and Gwen here. They decided this is the way that they were going to say goodbye to Jim Gardner. The entire area today, including us, are saying goodbye to our favorite anchor. It was an entrance fit for only Jim Gardner, escorted by Radnor Township Police with Chopper 6 HD flying high as he headed to Channel 6 Action News for his final 6 p.m. broadcast. And in true Jim Gardner fashion, he couldn't understand why all the fuss.
I know you're all tired of this whole retirement thing. I can hear when Rick Williams at 5 o'clock says, and he's been here for 46 years. I sense that he's saying, and this retirement thing seems like it's been going on for 46 years.
But for the Action News family, seeing our leader of more than 4 decades enter for the final time is bittersweet. When he first arrived as a 27-year-old from a Buffalo TV station, 6ABC only did 2 hours of news a day. The station grew to become the dominant news station in the region.
And thank you for allowing me into your home so late at night for the past 45 years.
It was a year ago Jim made the announcement he would retire from the 11 p.m. newscast and hand the reins to Rick Williams. He spent the past year still anchoring the 6 p.m. newscast. He will pass that baton to Brian Taff beginning tomorrow. Jim said this to his proud colleagues about what he will miss the most.
And I said to my wife today, I said, the thing that I'm going to really have a problem with is that, who do I talk to? Who do I interact with? What about human interaction starting, tomorrow? And it's going to be an adjustment, but, we all adjust.
Well, all I'll try to adjust without you, Jim. We have the Action News theme song playing here in the parking lot of this tailgate. As a little girl in South Jersey, you were the first newsman I ever knew, and I am humbled that you were able to be my colleague and my friend. From all of us here at the Jim Gardner tailgate, we love you, we'll miss you. We're live in Wynwood, Annie McCormick, Channel 6, Action News. Maggie and Rick.
Thank you, Annie. And that cardboard cutout looks pretty real, doesn't it? That is not Jim. It does. All right, it's quite a tribute for quite a man.
To your world, my friend.
Oh, she's singing now. Okay, Andy, we got to go. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, by the way, as we look back on Jim's storied career, 46 years of stories that have shaped our region, our newsroom, and all of us in the process. We celebrate Jim Gardner tomorrow night at 8 p.m. All right, let's move on to other things like a check of our Action News traffic report tonight.
Yeah, I know that it's going to be busy. We're going to check with Jessica Boynton now in the traffic center because people are gearing up for the holiday, Jess.
Everyone is out and about, and every time you check, there's another accident. And if there's not an accident, the majors are completely jammed up as well. So, guys, we're watching the Blue Route to start. This is southbound, right around Westchester Pike. We had an earlier crash in the same spot, blocking part of the off-ramp as well. And then this popped up after that one cleared. So we're seeing some big drive times on the Blue Route as well. You can see it's off into the shoulder. All three lanes, I mean, crawling by the scene there. So I wanted to check in with those drive times. They're pretty steep. Southbound right now from the Schuylkill all the way down to 95 and passing that accident scene in the middle somewhere around here. That's about 15 miles per hour. It's a 41-minute trip, so pretty heavy. And if you're out the door in Narberth, Wynwood Road, eastbound at Chestnut Avenue, watch that crash there. And here's the Vine. I mean, just string of brake lights both directions, east, west. Same goes for the Schuylkill Expressway. Rick and Maggie, back over to you.
All right, Jess, we'll check back in at 5:30. Thank you. And still to come on Action News, the Ukrainian president is in Washington, D.C. Details of his first trip since the Russian invasion.
Plus, cutting back on coffee. The warning ahead in Health Check. Congress is considering an additional $45 billion in aid for Ukraine. Today's expected vote comes on the same day that President Volodymyr Zelensky made a surprise visit to the U.S.
First of all, all my appreciations from my heart, from the hearts of Ukrainians, all Ukrainians, from our nation, strong nations, all the appreciations to you. First of all, Mr. President.
And tonight, Zelensky will address Congress in a joint meeting. During his visit with President Biden, the administration announced another $2 billion security assistance package. For the first time, this aid package includes Patriot missiles.
Also in Washington, there's anticipation that the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riots will release its full report on the insurrection tomorrow. The release will mark the end of the panel's extensive probe of that 2021 attack. The bipartisan group released a summarized version on Monday, which said that former President Donald Trump was ultimately responsible. The full report will be based on more than 1,000 interviews, emails, texts, and phone records.
In Health Check tonight, FDA advisors will hold a meeting next month to streamline the regimen of COVID vaccines and boosters. They'll discuss whether the composition of primary doses should be modified for current variants and subvariants, and whether the schedule for booster doses should be adjusted. Earlier this year, the agency's advisors recommended vaccine makers focus on bivalent boosters.
Well, anyone with severe high blood pressure ought to curb their coffee habit. Researchers in Japan found that 2 or more cups of coffee a day increased heart disease deaths in adults with grade 2 or 3 hypertension. That means blood pressure of 160/100 or higher. Frequent coffee drinkers tend to be younger, current smokers, and have higher cholesterol. Coffee did not raise the risk for those with normal or high normal blood pressure, however. All right. Let's go back to our celebration of Jim Gardner, and we mentioned the tailgate party taking place across the TV station right now. Well, Jim has walked out and has headed over to that tailgate party, where, as you can see, he's being interviewed by many of his faithful fans. Jim is saying goodbye officially at 6:30 tonight. From 6 to 6:30, his final newscast after 46 years here at 6 ABC. And as you can see, Jim has never been one to shy away from the fandom, and they are obviously happy that they're seeing him and talking to him right now.
Our Philly guy at the tailgate. You gotta love it. All right, Pico is lighting up the holidays across the Delaware Valley. In Egg Harbor Township, Storybook Land has been transformed into a winter wonderland with a holiday carousel, music, and shimmering lights. Visitors can also stop by and see Santa and Mrs. Claus there. We'll be right back.
Time for a check of that AccuWeather forecast, that changing AccuWeather forecast, and you may want to get all your Christmas shopping done today, perhaps. Huh?
And Rick was asking about when he can run tomorrow. Before 8 o'clock, and you'll be fine.
Before 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
From 8 to like 8:10, maybe.
And you'll be fine. Just want to beat the rain. And in fact, the rain is going to be heavy enough that we've got a flood watch posted Thursday afternoon into Friday morning for kind of the heart of our viewing area. We're looking at, in general, about 1 to 2 inches of rain. Could get up to about 3 in the Poconos. And the big problem this time of the year is that the ground is pretty frozen, so it can't really absorb the water. So runoff would likely cause some of that localized street flooding. So you do want to be careful driving around tomorrow. It'll still be warm tomorrow, but it's going to be very wet. Currently, Philadelphia 38 degrees, down from a high of 42, which is a few degrees below average. Allentown 35, Wilmington 39, Cape May 36, and Reading currently 40 degrees. Satellite and radar showing there are really two lows that I'm tracking. The first one is this coastal low. So this is what moves in tomorrow, brings us the rain, brings us the wind. The second low is the low pressure across the plains, and that will deliver the Arctic front on Friday. That'll come with plunging temperatures, perhaps even some snow and a flash freeze. So breaking it down as far as the timing, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we've got clouds, but we're dry. So Rick's run will be fine. By lunchtime, though, you can see the rain has overspread our area. Some frozen precipitation in the Poconos and northern Lehigh Valley, but even there, by 5 o'clock, it's rain. And then Thursday night is when things really get heavy. By 9:30, we have the possibility of some rumbles of thunder, and this is when the winds will be the strongest. Those winds could be gusting about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Then we get a break in the action Friday morning. By 7 o'clock, not much is going on, but you can see that Arctic front is starting to push in across our western suburbs, and it's moving very quickly. The latest models are showing by 10 o'clock, it's pushed through, likely coming with some snow showers, maybe even snow squalls, and then plunging temperatures with that flash freeze. By 5 o'clock, we're dry, but look at the temperatures in the teens and single digits. So breaking it down, as far as the flash freeze, you do want to be careful in the sidewalks, driveways, overpasses, and secondary roads. A high risk. There's a possibility on main highways, but the highways likely will be able to get treated. So if you have to travel on Friday, a good idea to try to stick to the highways, the main roads. So the 5-day at 5 showing tomorrow, we have that accurate alert. First, we deal with that rain, heavy at times, windy, 48 degrees on Friday. Rain in the morning, 52 degrees, and temperatures crash through the day. Some freezing expected, that flash freeze on Saturday for Christmas Eve. It's dry, but it's really cold. 21 degrees, wind chills in the single digits, wind chills in the teens on Christmas. Monday for Kwanzaa, not quite as cold, 30 degrees. Temperatures will rebound next week. Adam will talk more about that for the AccuWeather 7-day forecast, guys.
Wow, Friday, 52 degrees to 11 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to happen very quickly.
All right, wow. I'll be hibernating, that's for sure.
You'll be here.
Thanks,
exactly.
Quick break, more action news when we come right back. Stay with us.
It is the story of Whitney Houston that her family says has never been told until now. I Want to Dance with Somebody stars a West Philadelphia native and Westchester University alumna. Nafisa Williams tells me this role is an honor, but also a responsibility, she says, to the musical icon and her place in history.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Whitney Houston! It feels like a concert, right? But also with some personal moments that you may not have known about her mixed in there.
That's where West Philly's Nafisa Williams enters the story, playing Whitney's close friend and companion, Robin Crawford.
I was learning things about her, particularly her relationship with your character, Robin.
Yeah, it's time for the truth to be told.
You two spend a lot of time together. It's damaging the brand.
Robin is a really important person in her life, and she had her back. She was her protector. She was her confidant. She was her creative assistant. This was her ride or die. Take the labels out of it or the romance out of it. They were soulmates. Boy,
I know. I wondered how much, underlying kind of pain there must have been for her to not be able to live out loud.
Yeah. And now when I hear the songs, I hear them a bit different. Like, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Could that be about Robin? Somebody who you want to dance with and you can't? Wait, no, it's on. It's on. Listen.
The film has the blessing of Whitney's family and her record producer, Clive Davis.
And I love that her legacy is just continuing on with this film.
Chills. Nafisa tells me she's thrilled to be sharing the premiere of this film with her family here at home in West Philly, especially during the holidays. I Want to Dance with Somebody is in theaters everywhere on Friday. Oh, I can't get it out of my head and my heart.
Yeah,
What a soundtrack.
Looks like a winner.
Yes.
Thank you, Alicia. Much more still ahead on Action News Wednesday night. Meet the vocal coach who helped some Eagles players become singers for their first Christmas album.
We got all that and more when Action News comes right back.
Action News continues with meteorologist Adam Joseph, Alicia Vitarelli, Jamie Apodi, Shari Williams, and Rick Williams.
5:30 now, Wednesday night. Shari's off. Maggie Kent joining us, and we're beginning this half hour with breaking news. Action News has learned the man wanted for shooting a Philadelphia Parking Authority enforcement officer is now under arrest. Last week, police identified the suspect as 39-year-old Tremaine Salisbury. He was arrested today near 55th and Girard Avenue. He's accused of shooting and critically wounding the PPA officer in Frankfurt the day after Thanksgiving. Salisbury is also suspected in a gas station shooting in the Bronx 3 days prior. The wounded PPA officer is now out of the hospital.
And we are tracking a major winter storm across the nation. The timing could not be worse. As a holiday travel rush begins, a powerful storm moving across the country, creating that travel trouble. It is set to hit some of the country's largest airports, causing a ripple effect of delays and cancellations. The major storm will bring more than a foot of snow and possible blizzard conditions to the Midwest. More than 90 million people are under winter weather alerts, and more than 87 million are under wind chill alerts. The alerts stretch across 37 states, dipping as far south as the Texas-Mexico border. After the rain and snow move out, temperatures will plummet, making it the coldest Christmas in decades. This unpleasant weather has many procrastinators now scrambling a little bit to get those last-minute Christmas gifts before the rain moves into the Delaware Valley and that chilling cold. Action News reporter Katie Catro is live in Center City with the last-minute shoppers. Katie.
Hi, Maggie. Let's take a look at those procrastinators here behind me. We got a lot here in Philadelphia. Lots and lots of people are out here doing their last-minute shopping, and I've got to tell you, they've been out here all day long.
Tomorrow will be a mess, so today is the day.
Many people downtown say they are getting their holiday shopping done today because of the expected weather tomorrow.
We're not coming out in the rain with a little one.
Some vendors at Christmas Village said they may board up the next 2 days.
I definitely feel like it's going to be the last big rush because I know this weekend we're supposed to see rain and snow and all sorts of bad weather.
But for now, vendors say business has been booming.
It's been awesome. It's been great. The Monday, Tuesday, today's been awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming out and people seem to be happy and in the mood of spending money.
According to a recent poll, 57% of American adults say they prefer to buy from a physical store than shop online when given the choice.
What little I'm doing is going to be today.
But for today, shoppers said they wanted to make a point to shop outside in Center City.
It's not bad. It's not too cold. I thought it was going to be colder. Got a nice warm jacket on.
Yeah, so weather won't be so great for Christmas is what it sounds like, but for today, the weather is getting all of these people outside to do their last-minute shopping in a timely manner. I'm reporting live here in Center City. Katie Catro, Channel 6, Action News. Maggie?
That's right, Katie. A gift is a gift. Doesn't matter when you buy it, as long as it's under that tree.
That's right.
Thank you. Gas prices are the lowest that we've seen in months, but that is set to change in the new year for Pennsylvania drivers. The gas tax, which is already among the highest in the country, is about to go up again. According to PennDOT, there's a 2013 state law that requires it to go up a few cents, from just under 58 cents per gallon to more than 61 cents a gallon. The tax goes to pay for road and bridge projects.
A SEPTA train hit a car that was on the tracks in Delaware County today. Chopper 6 over the scene here. Happened in the area of the unit block of South Union Avenue in Lansdowne at around 1 o'clock. The car was badly damaged. No word if anyone in the vehicle was hurt. Witnesses say the driver tried to cross the tracks in front of the moving train. Police are looking for 4 men tonight who brutally attacked a man inside of a West Philadelphia laundromat. Surveillance video captured the crime happening back on December 12th at the business on the 5100 block of Market Street. The suspects hit the man, bringing him to the ground. They then stole his prescription medication and wallet that he had on him. Police say the victim sustained minor injuries.
Philadelphia's Chestnut Hill Hospital will have a new owner in 2023. On January 1st, the hospital will officially be acquired by an alliance group created by Temple Health, Redeemer Health, and Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. The 148-bed hospital was sold by Tower Health, which closed down 2 other hospitals in Chester County earlier this year. It will be renamed Temple Health Chestnut Hill Hospital. Several Philadelphia police officers received the red carpet treatment today. Overbrook High School recognized 4 men and women in uniform from the 19th District. Officers Corey Moore, Geneva Russell, Ernie Williams, and Robert Barr have served the Overbrook neighborhood through a partnership with the District Safety Zone program. Each officer received a plaque you see there with their name on it, a sign of gratitude for keeping students and the entire community safe.
Well, a Philly special Christmas featuring 3 Philadelphia Eagles football players will be released in its entirety on Friday.
You can call it another gift from the team this season, with the proceeds going to a number of local charities. Alicia spoke to the vocal coach who helped these guys get ready.
What a job and what an opportunity for West Philadelphia singer and musician Eliza Hardy-Jones. She tells me what it was like to work with Jason Kelsey, Jordan Mailata, and Layton Johnson on their very first musical collaboration.
It was awesome. They were so much fun to work with.
And good.
So good. Like shockingly good. All 3 of them.
They're swinging deck the hall, but it's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here and all the fun we had last year.
Like Lane's super beautiful, like baritone is just so smooth and southern. And Jason has such a great character voice. I mean, they're all great, great singers.
Fun. The album was produced by the War on Drugs drummer Charlie Hall. He was the one pumping his fists, and you see him there. Eliza is a member of the band and even sings on the Eagles' Christmas album.
I didn't know those guys at all. I knew that Jordan was an incredible singer.
I said, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It's like the world I used to know.
Part of your job as a vocal coach is to both like provide the technical foundation so that the guys can sing the best they can. But they were so down for everything.
I just love it. Again, proceeds of the album going to local charities like the Children's Crisis Treatment Center. You may have heard some songs that have been dropped so far, but the full album again is out on Friday.
Wow.
Philly special Christmas.
Absolutely. And if they go to the Super Bowl, that album's really going to be worth something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you for the holidays.
Good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alicia. Time now for a check on the highways and byways to see what Jessica Boynton is singing.
Yes, we need your help, Jessica.
You don't want me to sing anything, and you don't want to even talk about any of this, what I'm about to tell you guys, because it's bad out there. Everyone is out today. We just had an accident scene clear out of the way on the Blue Route southbound side near Westchester Pike. So what's left is major delays right in here. You kind of can see up there some flashing lights. They just drove away a second ago. Out in West Goshen, there's a crash on Route 100 southbound. A lot of delay there near Route 202. And if you're heading out the door in Lower Moreland, we have a crash on County Line Road at James Way as well. 42 freeway's been like this all afternoon and all week. Just stop and go. And again, if you're heading southbound here, maybe you're going to the Deptford Mall or the Deptford shopping area. So a lot of traffic in that direction. I don't even know what to say about this. The Schuylkill around the Conchie Curve. I mean, we're just not moving both directions, west, east. So take a look at the drive times. They're pretty bad. Eastbound right now, we're almost up to 50 minutes, and that's not because of an accident. There's no disabled vehicles to talk about. It's just that's how many people are out the door right now. So eastbound from the Blue Route to the Vine, heading all the way towards Center City. It's just crawling like that the entire way. And westbound, not doing much better. I'll say it with a smile, though. Rick and Maggie, back over to you.
All right, Jess, thank you again.
Sounds better with the smile, right? Still to come in Action News tonight, it's looking more likely that the Eagles will have a backup in play this Saturday against Dallas, but his teammates have all the confidence in him.
They sure do. And of course, we continue to celebrate Jim Gardner as he prepares to retire tonight. Coming up, Jim pays tribute to two incredible co-anchors that we lost, Gary Papa and Jim O'Brien.
Meteorologist Adam Joseph tracking the latest in our Action News Weather Center. Adam.
Yeah, in our dry, quiet window, it is closing quickly here. Rain arrives tomorrow morning. Flood watch tomorrow, powerful winds, and then that Arctic front on Friday to plummet those temperatures. Some dangerous weather on the way. We'll chat about it coming up in that full AccuWeather forecast.
Sports tonight, and it's looking less likely that Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts will play in Saturday's matchup against the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, one clear sign, he missed practice today. Deuces.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would play the first half, but you don't think maybe he'll play any of the game?
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts did not practice today. He has not practiced all week. With the Cowboys game just 3 days away, it would seem less and less likely that Hurts will be out there. So Gardner Minshew was doing his best Hurts impersonation in practice, right down to the dance moves. The coaching staff is getting him up to speed. Minshew has only taken 25 snaps this season. His teammates still have a lot of confidence in him.
You know, he's just a very smart football guy. You know, he knows the game plan inside and out. He knows where he's going with the ball. He's played enough that he can read defenses. He knows what the defense is going to do before they do it, and he can eliminate the reads that he can't go to. And he looked sharp today.
Franco Harris has died. The longtime Steeler running back was best known for the immaculate reception from the 1972 playoffs. Harris was a part of 4 Super Bowl teams. He is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Before attending Penn State, Harris went to Rancocas Valley Regional High School in Burlington County. Franco Harris was 72 years old. The Sixers have hit a nice groove tonight. They'll host the Detroit Pistons, the team with the worst record in the NBA. The Sixers are riding a 5-game win streak. That's a season high. Joel Embiid has played well during that stretch. He's averaging 30.6 points and 11 rebounds per game during this win streak. But it's not just him. It's been a total team effort.
I think knowing what we're trying to get to, continuing to have that pace that we have, I really think it starts on our defensive end. You know, when we get stops, we're able to get that ball up the court a lot faster. You know, we're not taking the ball out and walking it up the court. So I feel like that definitely helps us out a lot. And just continuing to do what we've been doing.
We'll have more from the Sixers coming up next half hour. Back over to you guys.
All right, Deuces, thank you.
And we're about 15 minutes away from Jim Gardner's final big story. He is signing off tonight after 46 incredible years at Action News.
And we are continuing to celebrate his legendary career. Here's Jim paying tribute to 2 incredible co-anchors we lost, Gary Papa and Jim O'Brien.
Throughout the 90s and 2000s, the Delaware Valley turned to the team of Jim Gardner, Dave Roberts with AccuWeather, and Gary Papa with sports. They were the most watched, most beloved team for nearly 2 decades.
My time with Dave Roberts and Gary was magic.
It is a family. It truly, truly is a family. Do we get along all the time? Does your family get along all the time?
With all the love and good-natured hijinks that come with it.
This is a talented broadcaster.
Why
You really are.
Why is that?
To be able to make sense out of this kind of a script.
People enjoy seeing you be human.
Jim and Gary bonded over their love of sports.
There was a wonderful bond between the two of them, and I just kind of tagged along.
Even though some might have said the straight-laced Jim and the wildly energetic Gary had opposite personalities.
There was the odd couple type thing with the two of them. And that was fun to watch.
Gary was larger than life. His talent was immense. He was a little scattered sometimes and a little disorganized, and that just added to the whole Gary Papa thing.
Gary was named sports director at Channel 6 in 1990. Even though he'd been working at the station for years, winning over Jim was a challenge. Gary did it through his infectious humor and wit. When Gary announced to viewers in 2004 that he was battling prostate cancer, he also knew he had the love and support of his desk mates.
I'm me. Everything's the same, and I'm really in the best shape of my life, and I got 2 best guys in the world to be here for everything.
That's correct.
Your family. Oh, I wasn't talking about you two.
We'll be back. We love you, you know that. We'll be back with Gary's Sports Report in just a moment.
More than you know.
Last year with Gary and his difficulties, yeah, we needed each other.
In 2007, Gary would share with viewers that he was undergoing chemotherapy once again.
It was such an emotional experience for me sometimes sitting next to him. And when he died, it was brutal.
It wasn't Jim's first experience with tragedy on set. Weatherman Jim O'Brien died unexpectedly in a skydiving accident in 1983.
Most of you have never met him personally, but many of you will shed some tears tonight. Undoubtedly, many of you already have. We certainly will understand if you do. There have been many tears spilled here at Channel 6, and there will be many more. Jim, we will miss you more than you could ever know. Chris.
Thanks, Jim.
So, in a sense, you know, I lost Jim O'Brien to clearly an untimely, tragic death, and then we lost Gary. It's just not supposed to happen, or maybe it is, but I certainly wasn't prepared for it.
O'Brien was already an established star in Philadelphia by the time Jim landed on the anchor desk here, just 27 years old. Not everyone was sure it would work out with this young and eager out-of-towner. Jim credits Jim O'Brien with helping him evolve into a better anchor.
Jim O'Brien, who ended up being a very, very good friend, and what a mentor. Not a mentor by him lecturing me and overtly teaching me television, but a mentor simply by watching him.
We are also taking a special look back tomorrow night. Be sure to join us for an hour-long primetime special tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, the day after Jim's final 6 p.m. broadcast. That's tonight on Action News at 6. So the celebrations and the goodbyes continue.
A living legend and anchor in every sense of the word. The exclusive AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Let's take a live look from our Sky 6 cameras at the Center City skyline on a chilly Wednesday night, but it's going to get chillier. Meteorologist Adam Joseph will have the details on that massive winter storm heading our way. Students in South Jersey are making the holidays a little bit brighter while also showing off their skills. Nearly 24 kids from Egg Harbor Township High School in Atlantic County made these wooden ornaments as part of their advanced manufacturing class at the Ideal Institute of Technology. Every handmade ornament is being sold online through Etsy, with proceeds benefiting scholarships for students. Pretty neat.
Lots of talent there. Now to our AccuWeather alert as the Delaware Valley is bracing for a major winter storm.
Yeah, meteorologist Adam Joseph live in the Weather Center, timing it all out for us as when the rain will arrive. So we're talking mostly a rain event.
It's all rain for the most part here until the very tail end of it on Friday, but we're in a lot of company here with this storm across the eastern half of the country. Coastal flood advisory also in effect for the high tide on Friday morning. 1 to 2 feet above ground inundation is likely, so some street flooding down there. So if you do live in a low-lying area that tends to flood during rush hour in storms, you definitely want to move that car to higher ground tomorrow evening. Right now, 36 in Trenton, cold, 38 in Philadelphia, 33 Millville, 40 in Reading, 39 degrees in Wilmington. Clouds racing in from the west, so first we see the high clouds. They'll continue to thicken overnight. The ground is pretty solid because we've had many nights in the teens and 20s over the last several nights, so all this rain that's coming down is going to have a hard time penetrating into the ground, so it's going to run off. We do have flood watches for the day tomorrow. 11 a.m. There it is. Rain from the Lehigh Valley to the shore as temperatures warm to the 40s to the 50s by tomorrow afternoon in southern areas. And tomorrow evening's commute, it is just a wall of water ponding on the roads. Winds are picking up. Could even get a rumble of thunder here tomorrow late evening and overnight as temperatures surge into the 50s, near 60 degrees with buckets of rain. 1 to 3 inches of rain is likely. And then we'll watch the Arctic front coming in from the west here, 7 a.m. on Friday morning. Notice the temperatures in the 40s. But as the front comes through, the cold air is just going to collapse from the upper part of the atmosphere to the surface like a solid weight. It just plows on in. Temperatures by 9:30 in the morning falling into the 20s. Freezing in Philadelphia will end as a period of wet snowflakes or even some snow squalls, and then everything freezes up. The wind concern, there's 2 time periods. Thursday evening, heavy rain, rumble of thunder, gusts 50 to 60 plus miles an hour in some of that heavy rain. And then Friday with the front, we could see widespread gusts between 45 and 55 miles an hour. And then that cold air settles in for the weekend. Brutal wind chills, high on Christmas Eve, 21, at best feeling like 8, 25 Christmas Day. Wind chill 15 degrees. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So rain develops tomorrow, heavy, steady at times. It ends as rain, then that period of wet snow, flash freeze, 52 degrees. Saturday morning, waking up 18 below in the Poconos. 5 below in Philadelphia, 4 below for your wind chill in Wilmington, 25 on Christmas Day, wind chills in the teens, but at least it's dry over the weekend. Not as harsh Monday, 36, and then moderating some Tuesday, Wednesday, upper 30s to near 40 degrees. And ooh, the man of the half hour just walked in, the legend. He's in the studio.
Yes, he is. And he will be here in about 6 minutes. But we'll take a quick break to wrap things up. Stay with us, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. And just as temperatures are set to drop this week, hundreds of children in Delaware will have brand new coats to stay warm. More than 500 winter coats were delivered to Ritchie Elementary School in Newport this morning.
Operation Warm pulled off the special delivery using a convoy of nearly 30 vehicles led off by the 76ers Drumline Band.
Awesome. Right now, our Jim Gardner is standing by for the final time, his last newscast at Action News before he retires.
Now for meteorologist Adam Joseph, Cecily Tynan, Jamie Apodi, Justice Rogers, Alicia Vittorelli, Shari Williams, Maggie Kent, the entire Action News team. I'm Rick Williams. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later tonight.
Delaware Valley's leading news program with Deuces Rogers, meteorologist Cecily Tynan, and Jim Gardner.
Wednesday night, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pays a visit to President Biden at the White House, and 2 water main breaks on the same street flood Manayunk this morning. But the big story on Action News tonight is an AccuWeather alert. All is quiet now, but heavy rain arrives tomorrow, and Friday temperatures will literally crash to brutally cold levels. Let's get right to meteorologist Cecily Tynan and the latest information from AccuWeather. Cecily?
And Jim, this is the calm before the 2-day storm. The main low I'm tracking is still across northern plains, bringing some heavy snow there. And this is fueled by true Arctic air. That cold air is already starting to move into the Great Lakes area. Green Bay 9 degrees, Minneapolis 0. So first we get the rain and we get the wind, then we get the Arctic front. So we do have an AccuWeather alert for tomorrow and for Friday. We're talking about the potential for some real heavy rain. About 1 to 2 inches could be enough to cause some localized flooding. Strong winds tomorrow night gusting about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Could get a few rumbles of thunder. Then on Friday, that's when we get the Arctic front. That could come with some snow squalls and then a flash freeze where anything that's wet will be freezing immediately, and that could cause a lot of travel problems. Now for tomorrow, big travel day tomorrow, and the high travel trouble will be across the Midwest, kind of arcing across the Great Lakes. Now on Friday, the system really expands, and this is when the high travel impacts will be all the way from the Midwest through the Northeast down across the Tennessee Valley. This is when that colder air arriving by Friday evening, that wind chill at 5 o'clock all the way down to the single digits. I'll break it down region by region with Future Tracker coming up in the full AccuWeather forecast. Jim?
Thank you, Cecily. Action News New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is live in Pennsauken tonight. Trish, the big problem could be ferocious winds. What kind of preparations are going on there for that?
Well, Jim, a lot of people running those errands before the storm hits. This pre-holiday storm is certainly going to throw a wrench into getting around over the next couple of days. And throughout our area, agencies and companies are preparing for the rain, the wind, and the freezing cold. When the storm moves in, one of the most concerning elements will be the wind gusts, possibly 50 to 60 miles per hour, and likely strong enough to bring down tree branches and power lines.
It's morphed and changed a little bit over the last several days, but we knew that we were going to need some additional help.
PECO's chief operating officer says the company has brought in 100 extra technicians, and they're standing by to help with any power outages that may come just before the holiday.
We pulled that trigger Monday, and they're coming in from Virginia and Connecticut and ready to battle the storm when it comes in on Friday.
After that rain moves through, temperatures are expected to plummet. Hardware stores like True Value and Marlton are stocked with ice melt and shovels. And companies like RPM Heating and Air Conditioning are bracing themselves for a lot of calls from people with no heat.
This will be our really first good cold snap, and usually that's
we get hit pretty good.
Service manager Raymond Moore says extra crews are on the schedule in anticipation of heat pumps freezing up in the frigid cold.
They just run constantly. People don't check their air filters, and because they're running so much, they break down.
Now, we heard from PennDOT and NJ.DOT today. They are preparing, but because of the rain coming in first, they're holding out on brining the roads because it would just get washed away on both sides of the river. They say they will be standing by with salt trucks to treat the roads as soon as they are able. Reporting live in Pensacola, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. And Jim, on your last broadcast, thank you for everything. It's truly been an honor.
Thank you for you, Trish. Thank you. We have breaking news from West Philadelphia, where police arrested the shooting suspect. The suspect wanted for shooting a Philadelphia Parking Authority enforcement officer. 39-year-old Termaine Salisbury was arrested near 55th and Girard today. Salisbury is also suspected in a gas station shooting in the Bronx 3 days before shooting the PPA officer last month. That is the allegation. 3 additional buses full of asylum seekers arrived in Philadelphia from Texas this morning. The city provided warm clothing, food, drinks, and other necessities for the 125 migrants on board. 77 of them were taken to the city's welcoming facility. So far, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas has sent 12 buses to Philadelphia, that since November. A Manayunk street turned into a not-so-small stream with a not-so-small current today. A couple of water main breaks inundated the 100 block of Conroe Street this morning. Live at the scene tonight, Action News reporter John Paul. John, what is the current status of the neighborhood, and did some folks lose water service today?
Yeah, so Conroe, they don't have water in these houses right here. The other areas, they just have low water pressure. Now, the state of the area, there's still a lot of debris on the ground, and you'll notice the sheen of water. As they're still trying to repair this, they're worried that this could freeze as the temperatures are dropping. For about an hour this morning, Manayunk looked more like Venice. Water filled the streets thanks to 2 broken mains about a block from each other on Mansion and Conroe Streets.
I live right here. I walked outside and there was water rushing down like a giant flood, and I was trying to get to work on the train, but I missed it. The
rushing water created a headache for drivers as roads iced over and police had to close areas off so they could be salted. Which you can see was an uphill battle.
I'm parked right here, actually. I'm on the street. So depending on how it clears up, I may or may not be calling an Uber to work.
Heavy equipment chipped away at the streets so crews could repair the problem while neighbors waited for their water to come back on, busy with cleanup.
We have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of water in the basement.
No, those repairs continue tonight. The big question is, what caused these 2 breaks? Well, I did talk to authorities earlier. They said the cold temperatures could have caused it. Also, there's some construction just over here near where it broke. They're going to look into that. But I was talking to some employees just a little bit ago, and they told me somebody actually hit a fire hydrant up the street that could have sent a surge down through the pipes, causing this water main break. They're still looking into it. For now, we're live in Manayunk. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Jim, I'll send it back to you one last time. It's been a real pleasure working with you.
And you, John, thank you. One person was killed in a crash in Minquadale this morning. Delaware State Police say a car was headed the wrong way on Route 13 South when it struck a dump truck. This happened at 7:30 in the area of Fernwood Avenue. The driver of the wrong way vehicle was killed. Police have not released the identity of the victim. A historic visit to the White House today. President Biden hosted the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. It was Zelensky's first trip beyond the borders of Ukraine since the Russian invasion 300 days ago. Zelensky said he came here to thank the American people for their much-needed support, those his words. The two discuss future military aid from the U.S. Zelensky will address a joint session of Congress at 7:30 tonight. And World News Tonight with David Muir will have complete coverage of the Zelensky visit. That's next at 6:30, right after Action News. Delaware Governor John Carney joined members of the American Jewish Committee today for a Shine a Light on Anti-Semitism Week. Carney signed a proclamation taking a stand against hate crimes targeting the Jewish community. The nationwide event coincides with Hanukkah tonight, the 4th night of the 8-night and day Jewish celebration. Coming up on Action News tonight, Cecily Tynan with the AccuWeather forecast. Stormy weather ahead, plus the holiday forecast. And the Eagles gear up for Cowboys Week. Deuces Rogers with how it's looking for quarterback Jalen Hurts. Those stories, much more when Action News continues tonight. So I always follow the direction from my producer, Jamie Shore, and she has instructed me to turn this newscast now over to the two of you.
All right, and we're honored.
Yes, you have no more control.
We're taking over. Jim, this is a bittersweet day as the final minutes tick away on your very last 6 p.m. broadcast.
And we are thrilled to be celebrating you with you.
And today's pretty exciting. Your daily commute to work was anything but routine this afternoon. I mean, take a look at this. We would like to thank the Radnor Police Department who provided an escort for the one and only on his special day. A fitting tribute for this journey you've taken for 46 years.
Police escort to work. And we are not the only ones celebrating Jim Gardner. You have been a staple in homes across the Delaware and Lehigh Valleys every single night. This is a live scene right now across from our 6 ABC studios. Tonight the viewers are showing up for you. Signs that say, oh, you can hear them. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Right on cue.
Fantastic.
Your final newscast is a sport for some. Diehard Jim Gardner fans have turned out. They've been tailgating Jim all afternoon. And in true Jim Gardner fashion, Jim went out there this afternoon. So rub some elbows and shake some hands and say thank you. That is awesome.
And we would like to know how you, the viewers, are celebrating Jim and watching this final newscast. Share with us at 6abc.com/Jim Gardner. And Jim, I want to tell you, you have about 17 minutes to change your mind. No hard feelings if you just want to stay here a little longer.
I've got a very hoarse voice, so it makes my voice lower. And that's happening because the seamless transition to Brian Taft
You sound just like him.
will now be even more seamless. All right. Thank you, guys. What did you say?
I thought she had you.
I was trying.
You got me. We'll be back with what Cecily and Deuces really do best. The AccuWeather forecast plus Eagles prepare for their Christmas Eve clash with the Cowboys when we continue in just a moment. Eagles fans have one question. What is the story with Jalen Hurts?
We still do not have the answer, but Jalen Hurts did not participate in Eagles practice today. There's a good chance we see the backup Saturday against Dallas. In Gardner, we trust the other Gardner. Gardner Minshew was out there running and dancing with the first team today. The Eagles' backup QB has barely played this season, but he has made 22 starts in his NFL career. The Eagles coaching staff will be ready to roll with either QB.
Gardner's played a lot of football. He's a smart, competitive guy that understands the game. So if Gardner's out there, we got all the confidence in the world in him that he's going to go out and execute. And those conversations that myself and him have throughout the week leading up to the game, if he's the guy, then we'll be ready to go.
Franco Harris has died. The longtime Steeler running back was best known for the immaculate reception. Harris was a part of 4 Super Bowl teams. He is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Before attending Penn State, Harris went to Rancocas Valley Regional High School in Burlington County. Franco Harris was 72 years old. Don't look now, but the Sixers are starting to put it all together, even though they are still not all together. Tonight, the Sixers will host the Pistons. Still no Tyrese Maxey, but Furkan Korkmaz might be back. He's listed as questionable. Korkmaz has missed the last 2 games with an illness. Meanwhile, the Sixers are riding a season-high 5-game win streak, but they are far from satisfied.
Cleaning up a lot of the little things. I feel like, a lot of times when you go on these runs and you're winning a lot of games, you could tend to have a lot of slippage in like some of the little stuff. So we were really detailed today at shoot around, just cleaning up those little things and being solid, most of all. You know what I mean? Being solid and continuing to build on the stuff we were working on.
My pleasure, Deuces. You know how much I love you. All right. We've got some fierce weather on the near horizon.
Yes, it's coming through in waves. First, we have the rain, then we have the cold air. So we do have a flood watch posted for our area. Let me show you the graphic right now. We can go ahead and take weather 1, please. The chroma key. There we go. Well, instead we'll show you this. Storm Tracker 6 is showing the system that I'm tracking. Low pressure that's moving across the northern plains. That's one of the lows. That comes with the cold air. But there's also another low off the coast, and and that's what will bring the heavy rain. So a flood watch has been posted for really the harder viewing area tomorrow afternoon into Friday morning. We're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain, and the ground is frozen right now, so there's going to be a lot of runoff. So I do think we'll have some localized flooding. That's from that low, and then that secondary low, that's what comes in with the cold air. So timing it out, future tracker showing by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the rain is here. Could begin as some brief frozen precipitation in the northern Lehigh Valley and the Poconos, but even here, this is a rain event. By 5 o'clock, we have some heavy rain, and then late tomorrow night, this is when we have the best chance of some thunderstorms right along the coast, and that could come with winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. We get a lull briefly early Friday morning, but then the Arctic front will be pushing in, and this is when we get some snow showers, perhaps even some snow squalls, and temperatures plummet. They go from temperatures in the 50s to well below freezing, so please be careful. A flash freeze is possible, primarily sidewalks, driveways, overpasses, and secondary roads. Hopefully they can get those main highways treated, but please be careful if you're doing any traveling on Friday. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast tomorrow, that heavy rain is here by mid-morning. The winds picking up through the day, so we have an accurate alert tomorrow and Friday. That high 48 degrees. Now on Friday, the high 52 in the morning, then temperatures dropping down into the teens by the evening, so a flash flood, a freeze is possible. Saturday, we dry things out for Christmas Eve, but it is cold. 21 the high, wind chills in the single digits, still very cold for Christmas Day. 25 with wind chills in the teens, and then temperatures moderate next week. Monday 30, Tuesday 37, and Wednesday finally more seasonable, partly sunny with a high of 40 degrees. I will have an update on Action News tonight at 11. And Jim, it's been a pleasure. You've made all of us so much better here at Action News. We're going to miss you. Come visit, okay?
Will do. Thank you, Cecily.
Right.
Acme Markets is making sure families in Philadelphia have a bountiful holiday dinner. Today, volunteers delivered 200 turkey dinners, fresh produce, and desserts to Sharon Baptist Church in the Winfield Heights section of the city. Acme also provided a $50 gift card to purchase additional items to complete their holiday meal. And we'll be right back.
Big story on Action News. It was here that Pope John Paul II delivered Mass. The hostages have come home to American soil. This past weekend marked the end of an era in Philadelphia, the final footnote to a storybook career. And so the question is, what is next for the Soviet Union? In Wiesbaden, West Germany, in the Holy Land. I'm Jim Gardner, Channel 6 Action News at the White House.
I can't tell you what a thrill it is for the city and for every individual fan who bleeds green.
We're not going to argue about this again.
Depend on the Action News team.
Two best guys in the world to be here for everything.
That's correct.
That was really nice, Jim.
Oh,
I really appreciate that.
The least I could do.
Mine was a professional life, well lived.
So as some of you might know, this was my last shot anchoring the 6 o'clock news at Channel 6 and trying to get it right. The first time was May 11th, 1977. I was 6 days short of my 29th birthday. Foremost on my mind was trying to avoid humiliating myself and embarrassing this television station. But there were enough talented and truly supportive people holding me up so that we avoided a disastrous start. I was searching for my voice and probably didn't really find it until the Pope came to town in 1979, and we did 2 full days of unscripted television. Everybody seemed to think we did a good job. I thought I did too. It was only after that experience that I finally felt worthy to represent the efforts of the members of the Action News team. And in my mind, that's when we, and I mean you and I, really started this journey together, a journey that ends tonight. In fact, we traveled through much of our lives together. I've been reading comments from so many of you about how you once watched us with your parents, even your grandparents, and now that you're a parent or even a grandparent, we are still part of your day, a part of your world. That sense of being engaged in a generational relationship has been profoundly satisfying to me and to my colleagues. I do appreciate all the kindnesses and even expressions of sadness that some viewers have relayed to me over the past year and especially over the last number of weeks. But what I need you to know is how much I'm going to miss you. We have long had an unstated agreement, you and I. I like to say that we formed a covenant years ago. We give you respect and our commitment to reporting in a no-nonsense way those things that are important to you and making sure that what we tell you is accurate and fair. But we also promise to share in your joys and your sadnesses, your triumphs and your losses, because they are ours too. We are all members of the same community, and we have the same very high stakes in its well-being. And in return for all of this, you gave us just one thing: your trust. Well, maintaining that trust became the most important motivator for me, coming to work every day and doing the absolute best job that we could, that I could. And that's why I feel so good about the future of the two newscasts where I hung out for all these years. Rick Williams has quickly made Action News at 11 his own broadcast with the help of astoundingly good producers and so many other Action News folks. And if there is another anchor who feels more committed to furthering our unique relationship with you, I'd like to meet him or her. Brian Taff is a consummate journalist who will easily be the smartest person ever named to be anchor of Action News at 6. And like Rick has done at 11, Brian will join the magnificent Cecily Tynan and, oh yeah, Deuces, to form the best 6 o'clock anchor team in America. I can't let this broadcast end without saying that I have adored working with Jamie Shore, who has produced Action News at 6 since 2011. Jamie, we have run a marathon together, and predictably, you carried me over the finish line. My wife Amy and son Jesse are in the back of the studio right now. Amy, you have been and continue to be my beacon. And Jesse, you are a shining star. And I can feel the light of my other children even from a distance. Permit me a final word, if you would. The American free press has been under attack, not by forces from other countries, but from elements embedded in our own society and even our own government. It worries me deeply. And it both feeds into and exploits people's lack of understanding of what the founders intended, the kind of democracy that the U.S. and only a handful of other nations aspire to. Thomas Jefferson said to John Jay in 1786, "Our liberty cannot be guarded but by the freedom of the press, nor that be limited without danger of losing it." Jefferson would concur. No, we are not the enemy of the people. Serving the people, you, the people of the tri-state area, with responsible and unbiased journalism, this is our mission now and in the future. And if we falter, you damn well better let us know, for your benefit and for ours. Brian Taff will be sitting in this chair tomorrow night at 6, and I won't be terribly surprised if he is still sitting here decades from now. Funny how that seems to happen here at Action News. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is next on Channel 6, and then please join Rick Williams, Cecily Tynan, and Deuces Rogers for Action News at 11 here on Channel 6. For the entire Action News team, I'm Jim Gardner. Good night.
Sponsored by Jefferson Health. Don't delay your care. Make your health a priority. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org/to-do.